Hey, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of The Golden Ticket, a best ball dedicated show from Fantasy Six Pack, hosted by me, Davis Peng, writer for Fantasy Six Pack, and best ball specialist. I draft on all types of websites and formats. Done pretty well in all of them myself. So I like to consider myself at least an expert in best ball and best ball accessories. And by joining us on your show today, you must be taking best ball rather seriously. This will be our beginner's guide and overall beginning strategy for how to get started in best ball, what is best ball, and kind of maybe something to get you started and maybe invested into the game itself. But before we get started, I would like to invite you to becoming an all access member to Fantasy Six Pack. It's our subscription based plan. You get access to our award winning rankings, draft sheets, DFS projections, betting tools, and other great content. Best of all, you get access to the analysts directly on our Discord channel where you can get custom advice throughout your leagues, your best ball draft picks, and just maybe some DFS advice. Sign up today at fantasy6pack.net/plans and when I say you can access us for random questions such as, hey Davis, I'm currently in a slow draft and I need assistance here. Who should I take? Hey man, have I invested too much at quarterback in this draft so far? Or, hey, I'm in between a pick between this guy in the sandwich spot. I'm in the 11, he's in the 12, 13. Who should I pick? I think he might grab this person. Do you think he's going to do it? Feel free to ping us. I will assist you. Other people on our channel will assist you. We play on multiple formats, and our goal at the end of the day is to help you win some money. So, first things first. This, like I said before, this is our beginner's guide. If you've been playing best ball for quite some time, feel free to stay because this is going to be helpful information. I've also created a nice little slideshow to kind of get everyone started so you understand how best ball actually works. The purpose of this show, we're going to cover all sorts of things. We have multiple episode guide. We'll cover bye weeks. Like, is it important? Does it matter? We'll cover depth, how to draft depth, how not to draft depth, different types of draft builds, just a best ball lingo like correlation and stacking and what that really means, and does it even matter? And then draft strategy as a whole, and last but not least, putting it all together to help you win some money. But before we get started, what is best ball format and how does it work? Well, best ball is my favorite because I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of a lazy redrafter and kind of a lazy dynasty player. So it takes the things I don't like, which is managing my league, but gives me my favorite part, which is just drafting a bunch of teams and being invested in all the teams I've drafted and taking a quick lottery shot at thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, and so on and so forth. And that's what best ball is all about. We will be specifically talking about the underdog for version of this, the underdog format. And if you have never signed up for underdog, use our promo code sixpack. And we'll be able to give you a little bit of extra for using our promo code, and it helps us on our website itself. So please do. Once again, the code is sixpack. So before we get started, though, I have created something to help you kind of understand how best ball works, which is our draft strategy and draft guide. This is our beginner's guide to best ball football draft strategy. I have written this a couple years ago, but I've updated it this year and will continue to update it as so and create multiple versions for this. This is the beginner's guide. I'm going to create an intermediate and an advanced guide. There are a lot of things that you can learn from this by sticking around. If you haven't seen it, it's in our YouTube description and this will cover, well, kind of a lot of the basics. It will cover how to draft, know the rules on the format, what's depth, does bye weeks matter? How not to drop depth, and so on and so forth, and the total scoring points that you'll need to advance, which is something that is clearly missed by many of people in the field that play best ball. Check it out on our website, and if you have questions, feel free to ping us in our Discord. That being said, I do want to show you our slide that I did create specifically for this episode. So this will also kind of explain how the format works, what are the rules, and why does it matter, and how does it play out every single week. Underdog is a half PPR format, so people mistakenly take it as making receptions matter more than it does. It doesn't matter, I'll be honest with you. And you'll only learn that from kind of watching my little slideshow that I've created for this. So give me 1 second to get this ready, and we'll be ready to go. So this was created by me, just kind of give you a visual aid to see how best ball works, to kind of understand. So best ball, once again, is a draft only format. You will draft 18 players, and in those 18 players, they will play through the league and they will assist in how they get you to the next round. So let's go off right off the bat. As you can see, this is one of my advanced teams. The total points for this team was 1,762 points, approximately 80 to 100 points above average for advancement. These are how many points that person contributed to this team. Justin Fields contributed 188. Carson Wentz, surprisingly, contributed 81.36 points, even though he was out of the game for most of the year, out of the season. And then Marcus Mariota contributed 55.58 points. Joe Mixon contributed 164. AJ Dillon, 60.50. Josh Jacobs, magical year, 238 points. Antonio Gibson, 80. And Raheem Mostert, 62.9. Points contributed is not the same as amount of points they actually got on the season. Just want to make sure we're wary of this. And of course, the rest of it for the audible listeners: Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, Jalen Waddle, Darnell Mooney, Russell Gage, Chase Claypool, Nico Collins, the wide receivers, Pat Fryermuth, Gerald Everett, and Austin Hooper. Well, fill out the tight ends. So we're going to go this from a week-to-week standpoint. I have broken it down from weeks 1 to 6, and of course some of the final weeks to kind of explain how basketball works. So week 1, our main contributors were Carson Wentz, Joe Mixon, A.J. Dillon, Antonio Gibson, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, and Gerald Everett. Once again, quick reminder, you will have 18 players on your team, but only 8 of them on a weekly basis will contribute. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, a tight end, and the flex position. This is where Antonio Gibson comes into play here. And this team contributed on its first week 133 points on week 1. Best ball is a broken down format. It is a regular season scoring, but all your regular season scoring is going to be based on a week to week basis. So although you're playing for 17 weeks, each week matters more than the others. Each week matters just as much as the others, but they contribute to help you become an advancer. It helps you get that golden ticket. Weeks 1 through 14 is the weeks that is round 1. Week 15 is round 2. Week 16 is round 3. And your finals is week 17, which is a big brawl out between all the finalist teams for the grand prize money. So once again, this is your week 1. And now compared to the week 2. Carson Wentz, still my leading quarterback that week. Once again, very surprising, I understand. But we have Antonio Gibson, Joe Mixon comes into play, and Raheem Mostert became my flex position this week, which usurped my last week player of A.J. Dillon. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Nico Collins scored over, almost 80 points between the 3 at wide receiver. Pat Fryermuth finds his way into my tight end position. Week 6, major change at quarterback at this point. Marcus Mariota makes one of his first contributions to my team. Joe Mixon, A.J. Dillon are the 2 running backs. But this week, instead of having 3 running backs, it had 4 receivers this time. Tyreek Hill at 23 points, Chase Claypool at 19.9, Jalen Waddle at 13.9, Darnell Mooney at 10.3, and Gerald Everett at 5. Gerald Everett's first appearance up in here. Moving fast forward. Here's my week 10. Here's my week 12 and my week 14. Once again, like I said before, it is a season-long format. But if you can see, my week 10 team is Justin Fields. My week 12 team is Marcus Mariota's leading scorer. Josh Jacobs in week 10, followed by Raheem Mostert and Antonio Gibson. But week 12 has Josh Jacobs and A.J. Dillon and no third running back. Wide receivers Nico Collins, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle take it up in week 10. But in week 12, it's Keenan Allen, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Nico Collins. And at the bottom, for all 3 of them, you'll see Austin Hooper, Gerald Everett. and Pat Fryermuth. It's pretty crazy to me that, once again, these guys are cycling out every single week. It is the best score. You can see where the depth starts to really show up and why it matters and when it matters. Specifically, why I chose this team out of all the teams is, well, not only did it score very high overall, it also had a dead week at my positions. So this is where we talk about drafting in depth, when it matters, when it does not matter. This is Marcus Mariota, Carson Wentz, and Justin Fields, all either being on bye week or injured. Specifically, Carson Wentz was out for injury. I want to say Justin Fields was also out, and then Marcus Mariota got benched that week. And so I was left with 0 quarterbacks. And the total points for that team that week was 95.6. A rather low score, but still was a upper scoring team. So once again, a bad week won't break you, but it does hinder your overall upside. So once again, to show the kind of the differences each week can make on who plays, who contributes, who helps my team, and who doesn't. You would be surprised who moves up and down the roster. I hope you enjoyed our show today for the Fantasy Six Packs Golden Ticket. And, well, if you join us for the next ones, like I said, I'll be covering bye weeks. I'll be covering depth, different draft builds, Bestball, Lingo, draft strategy as a whole, and I'll help you win some money. And be sure to follow me on Twitter at Peng's Picks on the website, and I'll also be in the description. If you have any questions, like I said, leave a comment. Maybe we'll cover it in the next episode. Other than that, have a good one, guys, and see you later.